Hey broski, I hope you're all awesome. In this video, I'm going to show you how I made $60,000 in a little over 5 weeks. And I'm going to break this down step by step so that you can see exactly how I did it. And I'm going to show you how this could be applicable to you and your online education or online coaching business as well. So without further ado, let's get stuck into the iPad and let's chat through this step by step, because I want to just give you as much value as possible. I don't want to hold the curtains back on anything. I want to show you exactly what it is that I did in the most simple way I possibly can. And I think you'll be quite surprised at just how simple this process has been to earn, like I say, over $60,000 in just over 5 weeks. A little bit about me, for those of you who don't know who I am. If you're new here, my name's Ollie Carson. I built two multiple six-figure online education, coaching, consulting businesses. And the whole reason that I do what I do today is because in 2023, I built an unintentional business, or at least that's how I kind of think about it now. I followed generic advice from coaches and mentors. I took the advice of, just hire more team members, just run more ads, just have more offers, all of these different things. And it ultimately led to me having a very unfulfilling life. I've got a wife, I've got kids, I've got hobbies and passions, but I couldn't spend time doing those things or spending time with those people, because I built a business that ultimately, trapped me. I was on sales calls, I was putting out fires, I was managing team members, I felt disconnected from my clients because I delegated coaching, and the business became something that I really didn't want it to be. And so now I'm building an intentional business, to 7 figures per year with little to no team, working with amazing clients, me working with amazing clients, not handed off to somebody else. And it's fulfilling. It's very rewarding. It pays me a lot of money, and my clients get incredible results in the process. And I want to show you how you can do this as well. So without further ado, let's get stuck into the iPad here. I want to break this launch, this $60,000 launch, down into 3 core sections. So traffic, sales, and delivery. Now I have my own ways of speaking about these things. Traffic I call entice. Sales I call enroll, E-N-R-O-L. And delivery I call empower. So I like to use a little bit of alliteration there. It's just for my simple brain. I can remember the 3 E's: entice, enroll, empower. But traffic, okay, what was the traffic methodology that I used to get people into this program? Like, what were the channels that I was using? What was the funnel? How did I take someone from I'm interested to getting into my sales process? So I use 3 platforms. So I'll draw these out for you. The first of which is Instagram. So I would make short form content, and in my short form content, in the captions of the content, you can go back on my page and check all of this out. But in every caption of my content, and sometimes in what I'm physically saying in the video, I would send people to a ManyChat automation. So just have them comment a keyword that would trigger a ManyChat automation, which would essentially then send people into my email list, okay, which is the second part of this, email. Okay, so simple short form videos going out on Instagram, and then triggering a keyword that would collect their email addresses. Okay, so the ManyChat automation that I use and that I now share with my clients collects email addresses and delivers a YouTube training like this, like what you're watching right now, right? So I would be saying, look, if you want a free training to help you with X problem, comment the word roadmap or whatever that looks like, and I'll send it to you, no questions asked. And then what would happen is they'd comment the word roadmap, ManyChat would kick in, send them a message and collect their email addresses, and then it would deliver a YouTube training in their inbox whilst collecting their email, okay? So now I've got them in short form, I've got them watching long form content, and I've got them opening my emails. Now, I think the key player in this launch has been YouTube, the long form stuff, because one of the things that I was really adamant about is that I didn't want to spend, the entire time on sales calls speaking with prospects if they didn't know what the program was about, They didn't know me, they didn't like me, they didn't trust me enough, because you're going to be speaking with poor prospects, people who maybe don't know enough about you or your program to hand over, $4,000 for a coaching program, right? So I wanted to make sure that before I got on any sales calls with anybody at all, that they had been watching my long form content and they truly understood what it was that I was helping people with. They understood me as an individual, what I'm about, my values, and they had a sense of who I am, because what happens is when people watch enough long form content, the sales is almost done through the content. The call itself, if you end up having a call with a prospect, it's almost like a formality. You end up just speaking to this person and you're kind of like just dotting the I's and crossing the T's. So I've just brought that microphone a bit closer to me. Hopefully that's a little bit better. It's kind of like a formality. And that's what I really wanted. I didn't want to be jumping on calls with really cold prospective clients and almost trying to convince them that they should be working with me. I want it to be a conversation, really just a fit check. Are you a fit for the program? Do you feel like the program is a fit for you? If we are, let's work together. And it's a much nicer way to have a sales process. So YouTube has been a real key player in the success of this launch. Another thing that I've been doing is making regular offers through email. Now, the reason that I like to do this is, for me personally, email feels a little bit more private. So when I'm making YouTube videos like this, or I'm making short form content, if I'm constantly trying to sell something, I'm not adding any value to you. Nothing at all. You're not learning anything. You're not taking any nuggets that you can literally go and use for yourself and grow your own business or make more money or have more freedom. If I'm constantly ramming down your throat, come and buy my thing, come and buy my thing, come and buy my thing, you're just going to tune out from my message in general. So my goal for my content channels, which is Instagram and YouTube, is just to add value to you guys. It's just to teach you stuff so that you trust me, so that you like me, and so that you realize that I know my shit. Okay, that's what I'm trying to achieve with this content. I use email to make the offers because it feels more private. Yes, I do some value emails where I teach things or I repurpose content into written form. But for the most part, my email list is just it's a database of people who have shown interest in what I do, so that I can send them an email and invite them to come and work with me. And that's all it's for. It's like, is now the right time for you to come and work with me? If so, reply to this email and let's have a chat. That's how I use my email list, okay? So really we've got like and this is what I teach my clients, it's called the Client Ecosystem. And it's an ecosystem because unlike a typical funnel where leads come in at the top, they go through a funnel process. Maybe they watch a VSL, a video sales letter. Maybe they opt into an email. And then if they don't convert at the bottom, you can sometimes lose them. They become like a dead lead. With an ecosystem, they're constantly getting my email offers. They're constantly watching my Instagram content. They're constantly being nurtured by my long form YouTube content. Okay. And that's what we teach our clients as well. So that was the traffic. Really, really simple. I posted short form content. I captured emails with a ManyChat automation and I sent them long form content to nurture them. It's that simple, okay? And I made offers through email. So sales, let's look at this part of the equation. This was really simple as well. I used to have really complicated systems and processes for booking sales calls, for having conversations with prospects who are interested in working with me. And one of the things that I've learned this year is that simple scales, complex fails. And I've known that saying for a long time, but I've really started to practice it as best as I can this year. And so for me, no matter where I'm making an offer, whether it's through an Instagram post or an Instagram story or an email, or even in a YouTube video like this, the first step of any process is to get somebody to message me a keyword. Okay, so usually through Instagram, I'll say, message me the word 9 or message me the word 12, depending on how many clients I'm looking for at that time. And that is the first step. And the reason that I do that is because I can do some really quick, simple pre-qualification in chat, so in the DMs, before I push someone into a sales conversation. And for me, this is a really important step because it enables me to filter people who either A, I can't help, right? They're not in a position to work with me right now. Maybe they're not at the right level. Maybe they're trying to do something that I don't help with. Or B, I don't want to work with. Did I say one? Or A and B, I think I said. Yeah, B, someone that I don't want to work with. You know, maybe like they don't pass the vibe check is what my mentor calls it, right? Sometimes you'll have a conversation with someone in the DMs and they're like not responsive. They maybe give you like one word answers, and you just pick up on this feeling of like, this doesn't feel right. And in which case I'll just park it. You know, they're not fit for the program. And this is one of the beauties of getting your business to a place where you can be a little bit more selective about who you work with. You're not operating from this place of scarcity. You can be a little bit more, you know, conscious of who you bring into your world, you know, because ultimately you're going to be spending a lot of time with this person. My program's a year long. Like if I'm going to spend a year with you, I want you to be my mate. You know, I want our conversations to be enjoyable. Like if we're jumping on a Zoom call together one-on-one, I want those to be great conversations. I don't want it to drain me, you know? So that starts right at the inquiry process and filtering out people who don't pass your vibe check, okay? So we have a quick DM conversation. I filter out the good prospects and the bad ones. And then the next step from there is if I'm getting like a really good sense that this person is, you know, they're super keen, I'll send them an offer document. And the offer document acts almost as a sales call. It really just in detail lays out what's involved with the program, who it's for, who it's not for, what you can hope to achieve, how we're going to work together, the investment options, everything is on there. And people will come back to me and say they're in or they're not in. And if I don't feel like it's a def cert, I'll just invite them onto a call. Because the reality is that you're going to have more success converting people on a call than you are through an offer document, because you can really demonstrate and get people to realize how you can help them by having a two-way conversation. So that will always be the case. But in any sense, it's either a document or a call, and then they sign up and enroll. And that was my sales process. Really, really simple. And in terms of the split, I would actually say this was probably about, just rough numbers, 70% calls and 30% offer document sales. You know, so that's pretty good. I was quite happy with that. Some of the offer documents that I sent then wanted to just have a quick call to ask some questions, etc. But again, that was more like a formality than anything else, and they came on board. So that was that. And then delivery with this launch. So if I just kind of touch on some of the detail here, I'm using like a hybrid model at the minute. One of the things that I really wanted to do with this program is do something that nobody else really does, in my space at least. In my space, one of two things happens. They either say it's one-to-one, but you get handed off to a sub-coach. So you're not actually working with the person who has the knowledge, the experience, the expertise. Or it's group, where like you can join group calls, you know, you can ask questions there, but sometimes you can feel a little bit like a number, right? So I just wanted to do the opposite. I just wanted to go in the opposite direction to the crowd and do what nobody else was doing. And so we have an incredible group where we meet once a week for a masterclass. I teach them something new. I teach them a new strategy. I answer questions, but they also get me one-to-one. So that's one-to-one Zoom calls, one-to-one Slack channel, for the extra support and guidance that individual needs. You know, so it's a really premium product and service. But when I sat down and thought about what do I want the delivery to look like, one of my kind of non-negotiable aspects of the program was that it had to be as best as it possibly could be for the client. And when I thought about what the client needed to get the best possible result, for me, it was a no-brainer to include one-to-one. So, you know, it may not be the most infinitely scalable way of doing things, but that's not what I'm optimizing for. You know, I'm optimizing for having fun, profit margins, and getting fucking sick client results. That's what I'm focused on. And that is it. You know, those are really the three key things in any of these sorts of businesses, where it's online coaching, online education platforms, courses, consultants. It's like, what's your method of traffic? What is your method of sales? And what is your method for delivery? The only thing that I forgot to mention here is that I am running some IG ads. I run IG growth tax ads. And again, I teach my clients this. They're stupidly simple profile visit ads. And I just have like a warm outreach sequence that I send to new followers that are qualified leads. And that gets them into my ecosystem. It gets them in my mailing list. It gets them watching my long form content, get my words out. And it just speeds up the nurturing process. Okay. So yeah, it's a stupid, simple paid advertising strategy, essentially. And that is it, guys. Hopefully this video has been somewhat useful. Literally anyone can do this. If you're in this space where you work with clients online and you want to have a small team, you want to have large profit margins, but you want to optimize for client results, this model works so sick, and the proof in the pudding is me launching a $60,000 program that hadn't been fully finalized yet, So, and the guys that have joined and started are already getting sick results. Like if you go through my client wins on my Instagram and you check out like the most recent wins, all of those wins that the clients are getting are through this program. So it's a phenomenal approach. It can work for any niche, any industry within the coaching, consulting, or education space. So have a think about it. If you want some help with it yourself, I'm still taking on clients in the program, Remote Pro. You can just drop me a DM on Instagram with the word 12, or you can follow the instructions in the description in this video. And I'd love to have a chat with you and see if we're a fit to work together. If not, keep watching my videos. Hopefully you take some value from them. If you found this video useful, just give it a like, drop a comment, or share it with a friend. If you could do that, that's incredible for my reach and reaching wider audiences. I'd really, really appreciate that. But it's been great spending some time with you, dude. And I will speak to you very soon. Peace and love.